What is up, my little Danos? Websisi, your gods of the Helsinki Adregas, and we are here for the Low Tier Mayhem Week 4 when I go up against Obo. And we are gonna be going up against a team that drafted round 1 Iron Thorns as their Terra Captain, which coming into this game will be Terra Water. I'm gonna be also bringing my armor roots to this game, which is also funnily enough gonna be Terra Water in this matchup going into it. Now, I hope personally I'm able to get through this battle. Be able to give you a solid commentary and whatnot, and hopefully we're gonna keep up with the winning streak, getting into 4-0, because we won our first 3 weeks. But I'm gonna be honest with you, in case I seem a little off today when it comes to commentary, I haven't been mentally myself at all, probably for 4 days by now, like maybe even longer. So in case I seem like a little off and whatnot, my mental health might be the reason to that, but I tried to jump into this game to enjoy it. I have built the team, not necessarily as much time put into it as before, because again, the mental issues that I've been dealing with lately, but hopefully things go well for us, and I can have a fun battle with Obo, who I cannot remember when I got to play him last time, I'm gonna be honest. It's been at least a very, very long time. But we're happy to find him, so let's see what he decides to bring versus us. Besides the Iron Thorns being Terra Water, we see Skeletors, we see the Alola Mach, Hisuian Electrode, which makes sense also to outpace Inteleon, Enormous, Therian, and Glade. So I don't see any hazards, which really makes my heavy duty Bootsmon on my Inteleon and Armorus feel pretty sad, because I could have had a different item, but he had potential Sticky Wedge with Araquanid, which I thought had a decent chance to come. But being Terra Water Iron Thorns, that does make it a proper water resist besides the Hisuian Electrode. But when it comes to a lead, I'm debating on leading with my Choice Banded Goodra or my Rotom Mole. Those are the two that I'm debating on. Part of me wants to say lead with the Rotom Mole, cause he's gonna look at my team and I don't have Gastrodon with me, so he has a free Volt Switch in front of him, and same goes for my side, and mine will be a lot slower than his. And I would love to get that slow Volt Switch chip on an incoming Alola Mach, cause then my Choice Banded Goodra can take it out, surprisingly enough for him, ideally, with a Earthquake. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. And hopefully he doesn't lead with something that my Rotom Mole doesn't want to deal with, and I wouldn't have a good response to. But good luck and have fun to Obo. And like I said, I'm just hoping for a good battle and get my thoughts elsewhere when it comes to itself. He leads with Brian right away. Okay. Is this a... It is not the booster in it, see, but I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp turn 1 with this. This could be a hazard setter, to be fair. This could be Stealth Rocks coming into my way. But I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp turn 1. He does withdraw. We are probably gonna see... Oh, we see the Hisuian Electrode, okay. I was thinking like we could have seen a Alola Mach there, but I guess the Will-O-Wisp was a always potential thing that I can click, so he didn't want to risk the Mach there, which is probably better for me, if I'm being honest. So I'm happy that I get the burn off on the Hisuian Electrode. Burned. And then, honestly, I'm just gonna go for a slow Volt Switch here. See what he does. Ideally, I see him Volt Switching out. And, ideally, I see him Volt Switching out as we do, cause ideally this is gonna lure in the Alola Mach. And I want to get that little extra Volt Switch chip, which is gonna be 10% or something, that puts him in a range of Adamant, Choice Banded Earthquake for my Goodra, and surprise kill that out of the way so I don't have to deal with it, because I actually don't swap into the Alola Mach too well. We see Brian coming out, okay. That's, I guess, fine by me. I get a little bit extra chip on this. I do score a critical hit. So that gives me a couple of options. I can go into my Sableye. I could go into my Gudra. Sableye is kinda free to click knock off here. I think I'll just go into Sableye here. And we see leftovers on it. Okay. So it's a leftovers Iron Thorns. Part of me wants to make a double. Thinking that the Alola Muk would come in here, cause it would be immune to my Will-O-Wisp. Because I'm Prankster. I don't foresee him staying in here, so I'm gonna make that double. I wanna see the Alola Muk in front of me, cause I wanna really weaken that thing, cause then my Armarouge is gonna be freed up quite a bit. I think they stayed in, interesting. Are they going for like Stealth Rocks here? Or what's the deal? Okay, they have Stealth Rocks, so now actually Heavy Duty Boots is kind of fine for me to have. So this makes me think it might not even be a... This makes me think that it's not set up anymore. I think I go for the Earthquake regardless, because getting damage on this would be really nice. Or catch potentially the Alola Muk on a switching. He doesn't know if I'm special or physical, and Mysterian may not even swap into me. If it does, I have Air Balloon and Revaroom to swap into turn after. Okay, he just wanted to prioritize having the Stealth Rocks up, which is fair. And me saying on the team preview, thinking that he didn't really bring any Hazard Setters. Okay, he just Terralizes here. I should be able to do good damage to this thing regardless. He does now become a Terra Water. Which means that my Volt Switch is a little bit more free into him. This should do a decent amount to him. Yeah, that's decent damage for me. He does go for Earthquake. He does have, which is not ideal. This makes me think he doesn't have a move to hit my Rotom-Mow then. So I'm gonna preserve this. And go into my Rotom-Mow, because I should be pretty free to click Volt Switch then. He may not think too much out of that damage yet. Oh, he spikes on this too, okay. I am getting hazard stacked here. On that note though, I could just Volt Switch here again. Or I could just Leaf Storm. He's been using this to hazard stack, so part of me wants to say, like, Leaf Storm and kill it. That might be his preference to use this thing as for. So I'm gonna say that he's gonna try to stay in and get up more hazards. He does withdraw. Okay, but it's the Hisuian Electro, so I'll get a little bit more chip on this, and then I can Volt Switch out. Yeah, that's good chip. I'll take that chip. And this is kind of like meant to deal with the Hisuian Electrode as it is, and it's getting wore down, so I'm fine with this. And now I'll pivot out again. Because the sooner this Hisuian Electrode is gone, the sooner he will not have things to outpace my Inteleon. And then it's just a matter of like weakening him down to its range. So I wanna say this is now like 45% currently. Iron Thorn is probably like 75% at this point, like being modest with it. By its health. Yeah, this is probably, thus far, not the most impressive stats I have had for my games compared to my previous weeks, but it's mainly due to the fact that he has hazards up, and I haven't been able to get the Gudra in as I would like. But he does Volt Switch out now. He may go into the Alola Mach on this turn, which would mean I don't get the 10% damage on it as I would have liked to guarantee the kill with my Goodra. But this is the Alola Mach. Yeah. But based on that, do I just go into Goodra regardless? Or do I go into my Reva room? This could be opportunity for me to use Elmo as to get the damage on it, but I could go into you. I have Air Balloon. I think I'll use Goodra here. Do I go for like a raw outrage, which should take this thing out, or put it in a range for my other guys and covers the Iron Thorns? The only thing this would be bad for if he goes hard into Enam, but Earthquake would be the same deal. Let's see. Because I really just need to dent this Mach really hard. Outrage is doing 10% less than Earthquake. But it would do big damage to the Iron Thorns coming in. That could really happen here. So I think I'll go for the Outrage. Don't show Enam. If you show that, I guess I can always hard swap into my Reva room because I'm not locked in. Yeah, okay, he does go into the Enam. But this just means I get to hard swap into my Reva room, which is Air Balloon. But my Goodra is not being able to really be utilized in a way that I would have liked to, so I think I have to just wear that Mach down and accept the fact that I'm not gonna be able to do it with my Goodra like I intended to. I wonder what he does here, cause in a way, if he has done his cogs, he should know that I am Choice Bandit, but based on how quickly we have pressed our turns, I'm not sure if he had time to check it himself, but he could have. Let's see what he does. He goes for the Moonblast, so he breaks my Air Balloon, but with this, I do become now a swapping to the Alola Mach, which I do like. I can Potting Shot here, because I would think something like a Skeledirge is pretty free to come in here. And I don't see him staying in here at all. And if I invite the Skeledirge, it gives me my Armarouge, which can then Terra Water, and then I can go for attack. So I think I go for the Potting Shot. I don't foresee them staying in at least. Ben Wallace, which is the... yeah. That is the Skeledirge. So now I have a couple of options to do. I have my Armarouge to go into, which is Terra Water, and I have my Inteleon. But because the Iron Thorns is Terra Water, Inteleon doesn't have as much of a chance to really go crazy here. So something that I can do here is that I would use my Armarouge now to break that Mach down, since Goodra is kinda getting to the point that it's not being able to do that. So I think I use Elmo here. We're gonna Terra Water and we're gonna Calm Mind. And I need to start just wearing down that Mach if it's the one swapping in here, which I would imagine it will be. He could also make a Cressy swap into the Hisuian Electro, but I would imagine this is what the Alola Mach is here for. It's for my Indeedee that I didn't bring, and potentially for my Armarouge. I wish I had a different Terra type now on my Armarouge than the that I end up going with, but Terra Water is still okay. At least I'm not weak to the Alola Mach stab. Or Skeledirge's Ghost Stab either. He does withdraw. Who do we see? Yeah, we do see the mark. So now that we are calm-minded up, how much do I do to the mark? Assuming it's Assault Vest, which I think at this point it will be. I don't expect it to do a whole lot, but I just need damage on this thing. And on Terra Water. Yeah, I won't be able to do a... Well, I'm able to 3-hit KO it at very least. With armor cannons. Unfortunately, with weak armor, it will mean that he can kinda 2-hit KO me. But I just need damage on this thing. I need to dedicate my armor roots to bypass this mark to the point that it becomes a sack for him. So we go for armor cannon. That is not Assault Vest, actually. It might be Citrus Berry then. Knockoff. Take quite a bit and the poison does come out, which I was a little worried of. Is it Citrus Berry with it? That's the remaining question. It is not Citrus Berry. Okay. So, based on that... Terra Blast may not kill it, but Armor Cannon is still probably my strongest stab versus everything else, so I'll just press that regardless. He could also have Shadow Sneak on it. But I just wanna fire big attacks and get this mark to the point that now that I would say that's like 35% that I put it to. Alright, and we do get rid of the mark. So Goodra kind of failed at its job to kill this, but Armor Roots at least did it. And now my Inteleon looks much better. I do need to weaken down that Iron Thorns, that's the next thing to worry about. But the main ones that can beat me are the Enormous Therian and the Glade. Those are the big ones that I look at that, okay, you two can set up and win. And I have to keep my Sableye particularly for the Glade. And Enormous Therian, I need to see that if it's clicking a setup mode that I get my Sableye in to encore it. Or I utilize Inteleon to prevent it and click Taunt, for example. He was willing to throw the Enormous Therian on a potential Goodra hit, which could or could have not been a stab move coming to its way. So that may leave it to question a little bit like how much setup he does have on it. He does go into this. Which I guess like at this point I can go for Psyshock or I can go for Terra Blast. He may pivot on this. But I'll take any damage I can. If he gives damage to this thing, that's wonderful. I would definitely take that. Like, this next hit was gonna be like something that I'm kinda like willing to get whatever I can out of the Armor Roots. While I still have it. He does stay in with it, so Terra Blast Water, it is gonna be unaware, so I don't expect it to KO it. It doesn't KO it. He does manage to go for the Slacker, which was fair play from his side because I'm poisoned. But that's still good damage to leave it to the point that I can deal with it hopefully later on. And at this point, I think my Inteleon is my best bet here. Which won't be taking any hazard damage, thankfully. So this Skeledirge I would say is 75%. And now I have a couple of plays that I can do. I can go for a U-turn, I can go for Scald. Those are kind of the plays that I can do. Because I can see him preserving this. I don't see him staying in. If he stays in, it would be pretty rough for me, but I really don't see that happening from his end. At the same time, he always couldn't say that, you know what, the Hawlucha is not here, so he wouldn't need it. But I feel like he does... I feel like he's gonna swap. Yeah. So we get off a U-turn. Brian comes in. Which means we prevent at least more spikes to go off. And we get a little bit of chippies on this. Which is nice. Now, how do I want to deal with you from here? I can go into my Gudra, but I think my Gudra might actually die. I need to see from the... health bar, I'm at 71 HP. What health is that for my Gudra? Percentile wise. Okay, my Gudra is a sack to hazard, so that won't be the play. So my play then would be my Rotom. Yeah, Rotom would be the play. And I think right now the way I can deal with this situation is that I use this to Volt Switch out. But then the... Would I Volt Switch out here or do I leave Storm? Because the plays that he can make here is that if he goes into Hisuian Electrode, I don't deal with that thing too well. I would have to sack Gudra essentially to that. If he goes into the Skeledurge, it's kind of the same story. Part of me wants to say that he goes into the Hisuian Electrode, and if I can punish that and kill it with Leaf Storm into burn, that might be my best outcome here. So I'm gonna stick with that, God. Please go into Electrode and let me kill it, because that frees up my Inteleon. I should have Volt Switched. Well, I do miss the attack, which, you know, I guess is a little bit of damage that I could have gotten here, but for now, I just go for Volt Switch, and I probably have to sack Gudra. This is getting kind of to the point that I wish I brought a remover. The early game has not gone in my way at all. Because my Gudra is too low of a health to be able to do a lot. I do get a crit. So if he doesn't recover, that could be huge. Do I sack my Gudra here, or do I need to sack it on something else? I think because I don't swap into some of the other things as well, I'm gonna keep Gudra as a sack for the other things that I don't swap into as well. He does go for Thought Song. So that's kinda fine. I think I'll go for Scald here, though. He may sack this because of that crit. Because I've been U-turning and Volt Switching a lot now. And the sooner this thing is gone, the better my Revavroom starts to look when it comes to just purely getting some attack off. Whenever I get it in freely versus like a Nermesterian, for example. Yeah, he does stay in, so I managed to kill these Skeletors. That's honestly perfectly fine. This can give the Iron Thorns more hazards, and I would have to make a call that do I taunt it? Or do I just pivot out and play it safely and get into my Revavroom? Or he does give the Hisuian Electrode for him, and this was one of the things that I was worried about, that I don't swap into all too well right now. So getting, for example, my Gudra sacked here would mean that he has to take extra turn of burn, and then I can get my Rotom in, and then it will proc its Citrus Berry. So I think I use here my sack with my Gudra, because it should die to the hazards, I believe. If he doesn't, then I'm gonna be a little annoyed myself, but I think it should die to the hazards here. Because that's the Stealth Rocks and then it spikes, yeah. So he gets his Electrode in here. As he just clicked the Thunderbolt, that's perfectly fine. So we're getting a little bit more burn chip, which is nice. And then we go into our Rotom Mall. It actually doesn't put me in a citrus yet, so whenever he attacks me, that would. Versus the rest of the team, do I want to Volt Switch? Or do I want to Leaf Storm? Leaf Storm would leave me vulnerable to Enormous Therian, which would be pretty bad. Volt Switch would mean that I have to pivot back on this. And it's quad resisted actually. So I may have to go for the Leaf Storm, because I don't want to swap anything in on this. Okay, he does Volt Switch out. I would imagine the Iron Thorns coming in, which would be fine by me, especially if it doesn't die, because then I can Volt Switch after and reset my stats. I do also have the Nasty Plot as an option on Rotom Mall. This is gonna be a close endgame for sure. Because I have to make sure that my Sableye is around for the Gallade. And I need to make sure the Enormous Therian, in case it's like double dance, like Iron Defense or Agility along with Calm Mind, that can be scary. Also just having an A setup move on it can be scary. Regardless what it is. Yeah, he does go into Brian. This may kill it. He does kill it. So now the interesting question is that do I have to Nasty Plot in front of the Enormous Therian? Or how do I need to deal with that thing? Gallade I have Will-O-Wisp for, and I honestly can hard into Sableye as well. Xian comes in, who is the... yeah, it's you. It is the Enormous Therian. So, this is important for me to now think thoroughly. Do I need to start Nasty Plotting on this? I do need this alive to deal with the... I do need this thing alive for the Hisuian Electrode. Inteleon is nice for fast taunt as well. How do I want to deal with this? Because I need this thing healthy for the Hisuian Electrode, so I don't think staying in is the play. I think I'll go hard into Revavroom and not proc a weakness policy on a weak Volt Switch. And hope that he doesn't Earth Power. If he does, then I have to go into Inteleon and go for a Scald. Let's see. He does Earth Power hard, yeah, that was a tough turn. That is the tough turn. Now I have to go into Inteleon. And go for a Scald. Yeah, this Enam is gonna be a rough one to deal with, because I didn't have a good team or draft to deal with Enormous Therian, particularly as a fairy type, because the coverage that it gets. Yeah, I don't know, that was a tough turn. I guess in a hindsight, maybe I should have gone into Inteleon and get my Revavroom in freely. So maybe that in a hindsight, because I don't think staying in with the Rotom Mall made ever sense either. But we go for a Scald. We get a little bit of damage. Moonblast crits me. Oh boy. Moonblast just hard crits me. Okay. So, Rotom-Mow needs to pull a miracle here. Do I leave a Moonblast with this? I am at 177 versus Enam. That I don't know if it's max special attack or not, so that's also annoying fact now. I shouldn't die to 1. So I could go for a Nasty Plot and then Volt Switch out. I think that's the endgame I have to go for. He does withdraw. Brawn. Which is the Gallade. Okay. He doesn't know if I'm max speed or not, so technically he might be forced to attack me here. So I'm gonna go hard into Sableye, thinking that that will be the case. Yeah, this is definitely not been my most impressive showing this season, but all things considered, what I talked about earlier on the video, I kinda expected this to be one of my roughest games based on what I've been dealing with. So, prepping wise, I could have done better. Playing wise, I definitely could have done better things as well. He does Sacred Soul like I thought, because he doesn't have an option on the matter. I have to make the play into Rotom-Mow in case of like try to go for a win. I cannot stay in here. So now it just it comes down to, does he make that call? Does he allow me to get back into it? Because in a sense he could just let this thing go as well. But I'm trying to make the plays at the end to try to win this, and getting my Rotom-Mow in is kind of the only way to win this. I need to Volt Switch a lot. I need to Volt Switch a lot to the point that I can punish him. Or I could catch a Will-O-Wisp when I think the Enam is in front of me and I think he makes the swap into Gallade again. But he could end the game by calling me. Okay, he doesn't try to call the game yet. He does go for the safer play still. Which is going to the Enam. Now my options are still just go for a Will-O-Wisp in case of him staying in, but now I'm at 139. I'm getting to the point that I would die to a Volt Switch on this. Or I would die to Moonblast, I should say. He doesn't know my spread though, so I feel like it's a risk for him to stay in, so I'm gonna go for a Volt Switch. And if he stays in, then I have to sack the Sableye, and then I have to call it like ideally maybe a 2-0 loss. We'll see. But yeah. There's a small chance of victory here, but it's getting lower and lower by each turn, while I'll have to swap into these assets, and I don't really have much to work with anymore. And that's unfortunate, because, yeah, this doesn't really enlighten my mental health, per se, coming into a battle to lose like this. Do I get a crit at least? I do not get a crit. So yeah, Sableye unfortunately goes down here. Unless he clicks something else that is not attacking move. But I might say he clicks Moonblast here, right? Yeah. So, good game to Obo. At least he does get a first win of his season. He came into this game 0-3. It was really funny because in hindsight people would have expected me naturally to win because I've been doing well thus far, but again, based on what I've been dealing with, which I don't want to go into a video because I don't think it's really appropriate, especially what thoughts have gone into my head lately to really say it even in a video publicly at all. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to talk about the things I'm dealing with, I really can't. So I have to just, you know, not speak about it too much and just go as you will, I guess. It's hard, tough for me to even like try to end that sentence in a way, but we'll just tough to it. There's probably gonna be a 2-0 loss, all things considered, so I guess we take it. We should still be ideally number 1 seed, depending on what happened in Addison game. But Gallade will finish me off from here. I don't have speed to outpace it, as you saw, as I've been editing and showing my sets. Oh, I'm faster. Never mind. I am faster than it, so I guess I get to burn it. But it could be Lumberry. Sacred Sword. It does kill me. That's how strong Sharpless Gallade is. But good game to Obo. Congratulations on your first win of the season. Hopefully for his sake this will be one of many. And maybe in playoffs I get to rematch him in a position that hopefully my headspace is a lot better shape than it was today, and it's been for a few days. But again, I cannot really speak about it too much, even though it's kind of my own business, and really nobody else's. But just sake of the video and sake of being a public thing that goes everybody to see, I don't want to say it and gain any kind of traction to it or attention, unnecessary attention that I really need right now. So thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my opponent and all the coaches in the league, because I'm sure there are going to be a lot of fun battles from week 4. And this was ultimately a very close 0-2 loss, so all things considered, it was a close and fun game. Unfortunately, I'm not in a mind space again to enjoy it as much, but hopefully you guys were able to do it much more than I did. Thank you for watching, and I'll be coming here for week 5 when I go up against one of the people that I've been wanting to play the most this season, who is brand new name for me to play against, Hunky Donkey. And the reason I've been looking forward to it is because I just love his name on his YouTube channel. He's called Hunky Donkey, like come on now. I'm so excited for that. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for that game for next week, and I'm gonna be see you guys later.